I've always been here for, like, as I say, the last 25 years or so, probably a bit more now. Everybody's very pleasant, and we all say hello, good morning, and blah, blah, blah. And it was only really when the flood comes, and that's obviously several years after, but it was the flooding really that became the catalyst, actually. And that was one of the major benefits. So suddenly, as I say, we get flooded, and we had anything from what I would describe as mild irritation to somebody having a nervous breakdown. And more or less, I suppose, everything in between. Definitely a lot of grievance and anger and all those emotions that people go through. We felt quite abandoned. Other places in the UK go flooded, but here in Gloucester really was us. So we've always had good advice, and the police used to come round. Now it's the environmental agency, but in earlier years, if there was any concerns, a local policeman would knock on the door. The high tide is such and such a time, and be prepared. But after this event, after about 3 or 4 days, there's a lot of feelings, and people saw things, and everybody's very quick to protest and moan and groan. The water was really rising, and it was on the street. We were all walking about with waders. I've already been flooded, the water's already in my house. Anyway, so the one last house on the opposite side, for some strange reason, they were still not flooded. And very kindly, it's a couple, very kindly they invited us all. And Ross, she's a wonderful cook, so she was like, bacon patties coming along, and that's how really, that was the start of what I would describe as our group. And it was that, literally, come in and have a cup of tea, enabling everybody to meet each other. One of our neighbours, my next door neighbour, his name is Terry, and I think really he was the instrumental. He was already aware that there was a lot of things in the community that would, if we became a group, we would have access to. And to be honest, we very quickly realised that you could have a lot of help. In fact, if anything, actually, sometimes it was a bit confusing because there were so many different agencies that would help that it was kind of like mind-boggling at times. Our neighbour felt probably a little bit perhaps left out, or a degree of distrust. He ended up that they kind of created a second group, and the rest of the people in the community seem to have said, well, I'm going to be going with this group or that group. Unfortunately for us as a community, we ended up not really being able to be cohesive as one entity dealing with the council. We kind of lost perhaps an element of our, I think potentially we could have been better, we could have achieved more. So I think in some ways I would feel we would have done a bit of a disservice to our own community. We could have done it better had we been really truly united.